Bitcoin holders, I've got an important message for you. From my observation, people on Twitter, the retail, and even the individuals that have been in crypto for a while seem to be more bullish than they are bearish. Scottie Pippen, a famed crypto technical analyst, posted a chart comparing Bitcoin to 2020 and obviously the current year 2026. It got a lot of views, 566,000 views, 4,100 likes. In X terms, that's a viral post. But what many people don't seem to notice is that Bitcoin broke below that level of support by approximately $11,000, completely invalidating it. So this comparison really doesn't make any sense. Let's go back to real technical analysis and bring to you the reality, which is the trend is currently pointing down in the daily time frame, the 4-day time frame, the weekly time frame. In the macros, trends are pointing down. When I jump into the 4-hourly time frame, we're still stuck in a bearish pennant, which around 60 to 70% of the time has a probability of moving to the downside. So creating an optimistic scenario for me at the moment doesn't make sense. And that's the sad truth. Of course, when I zoom out into the macro, look into the years ahead of us with sadly, global turmoil, the reduction of trust in institutions and elites, monetary debasement, Bitcoin's placement as a financial asset couldn't have come in a better time zone. So when I zoom out and look into the next couple of years ahead, I see Bitcoin at tremendous price levels. But when we tunnel vision ourselves into 2026, it's a midterm year. You guys know the comparison. It isn't the best to be bullish in these times. I think there is still lower price action to be seen until about September, October, and then we can begin rallying back up. From a trading point of view, nothing has changed. Just as a reminder, 72 is the line that you want to be seeing breaking if you want Bitcoin to go up. Even if we do go up, I think 84 would be reached. That will allow a retest into our moving averages, but then a rejection from that zone is what I see to be the likely case. If Bitcoin breaks below $65,000, expect a quick reclaim of the 60K, the wick that was initiated on the 6th of February week, or the 6th of February 4-day candle. That is the quick Bitcoin update. I have a couple more things to show you, which I would say are quite important in this non-volatile market relatively. Bloomberg posted an article stating that Bitcoin's precipitous, never seen that word before, fall poses an existential question for investors. What exactly is the cryptocurrency's purpose? Bloomberg questioning whether if Bitcoin should be here or not, in my opinion, is rather bullish. But what I don't really like was the creator of OpenClaw, the leading agentic AI platform, stating that they, quote unquote, have strict server rules that you accept when you enter their Discord server. No crypto is to be mentioned whatsoever. Sad. We need AI agents to use cryptocurrency layer ones as much as they possibly can. This is why Uniswap is integrating it. This is why all the big exchanges, crypto.com, integrating API keys for agents to access the DEXs and even the centralized platforms and begin trading. If they can trade layer ones and transact between one another, layer ones will see huge surge in volumes. Surge in volumes on the underlying layer one will bring their token value, in fact, their coin value, up as well. So AI agents need to be there to give crypto a big catalyst. Humans are not using Bitcoin. Humans are not using crypto in 2026 for transactions. We're not seeing it used. In 2021, there was a great use case with NFTs, which died down. And then in 2024, along came meme coins for Solana, but not for any other chain. It was great. Now we need a new catalyst. We need a new catalyst that can push the price of layer one coins back to the upside. Ethereum back to 4K, Solana back to $200. What will this be? I think it will be AI agents. Everybody, instead of having a Telegram bot trading for them. They will have an AI agent running their entire portfolio even. It will just take some time. Setting up your OpenClaw bot is complicated. It has its vulnerabilities, specifically if you're a crypto person. And hopefully DaVinci is going to give me training on how to set up my own OpenClaw agent. We had a great discussion about it on Friday. And as soon as I learn from DaVinci, I'll show you guys how to do it too. Important from the SEC, Paul Atkins, the pro crypto SEC chair, stated that they are stepping in the right direction to remove barriers and unlock access to on-chain markets. Speaking of Uniswap, speaking of decentralized exchanges, we're going to see the tokenization of trillions of dollars worth of traditional financial assets put on the blockchain. AI agents will be trading, but then we'll see all of the traditional financial stocks that have trillions of dollars worth of volume processed each and every month be put on chain. BlackRock, the CEO of Larry Fink, the greatest asset manager in the world, has this mandate. We will push everything on chain, and suddenly the average Joe or a 60-year-old investor, a 45-year-old investor that has no clue what crypto is actually going to be using crypto without even knowing they're going to be using crypto, and they'll be forced to own the underlying layer 1 coin to pay for gas fees. And that will push layer 1 prices to the upside. When Solana was getting all of the traction, Solana went to $250. When Ethereum saw the boom with NFTs, it went to $4,500 in 2021. It's just how things work. So I see these current prices as discounted. I see Bitcoin as discounted. Can Bitcoin go lower? Can altcoins go lower? Of course. Can we time the exact bottom with a dollar value? Very tough. Can we time it with a time frame? Easier to do so. And I think September to October will be the bottom for Bitcoin, but I would start buying now. If you can't catch the bottom, if you're sitting on the sidelines for too long, then it may be tough to get an entry at all. Let's wrap up the video with tariffs. President Trump yesterday, we did a full tariff video yesterday. There was a baseline tariff of 10% that was initiated via one of the sections. So the Liberation Day tariffs, the reciprocal tariffs, every tariff created under the IEEPA is gone, but there are a couple of sections that still can be used, and Trump can still keep them as levies to other countries, and he has the right to do up to a 15% baseline tariff for 150 days without congressional approval. He did a 10% to offset the 10% global tariffs that were taken down by the Supreme Court, and just a couple of hours ago he changed it to 15%. I'm happy that the markets didn't shake up following the decision of the Supreme Court. I anticipated a bigger shakeout, to be honest. Tariffs are the bedrock for geopolitical stability from my point of view. Were they legal to be used? Well, clearly not. And I think Congress should have that sole power of doing tariffs, and the president and the executive branch of government should work together with Congress to make any decision on tariffing other countries. But there are two uncertainties. It's good that the question mark of if the Supreme Court is going to rule it in favor or not in favor of Trump is gone, but there's still two uncertainties that I didn't comment on my update from 24 hours ago. First of all, 175 billion up to in illegally now collected tariffs need to be refunded to companies. It's not going to be refunded to the consumer who ended up paying around 40% of that tariff inflation. It's going to be repaid to the producers, the importers. And how is that refund going to be made? How are tens of billions of dollars going to be remade? Well, according to oral arguments, it's going to be a mess, quote unquote. This is the oral arguments in the court, and they said it's going to be a mess. President Trump expects 2 to 5 years of litigations, and maybe it ends up getting paid. I don't know. I honestly have no idea how they're going to do it. I think we can kiss goodbye to the tariff money. The tariff money is in the stimulus checks that the administration were planning to give out with the collated revenue. I think we can kiss goodbye to a large chunk of the national debt that could have been potentially repaid by the tariff revenue. And they stated that they can make more money now with the Supreme Court not ruling IEPA as legal. I don't see how that works. I think that's factually incorrect. Tough times are ahead. I think we are going into tough times. Trump has his alternatives. There's Section 338, where discrimination against US commerce does not require federal investigation, and that there is no limit or duration on the action. And there's a 50% tariff rate. So there's things that I'm sure they're discovering already, and they will use to compensate for the IEEPA tariffs. I'm quite certain of it, and because they have those backings, this is why markets didn't fall or pump in a dramatic manner, and it was mostly priced in. The Supreme Court would rule it out. The economy isn't doing well, though. We're seeing top 1% of earners now having more wealth than the entire American middle class. We're seeing the job revisions. 25 out of the 26 jobs data have been revised significantly lower. So they're adding much less jobs than what's being published on the day of non-farm payrolls. So employment isn't as good as they're saying it to be, because when they launch the non-farm employment data, they do surveying, and then they take that surveying results and they extrapolate it, and they use something called the birth-death model. And then only a couple of months later are the government able to collect more accurate data. And once they do, they revise the initial data points they've launched, and 25 out of the 26 data points have been revised significantly lower. This was a very low sum. And I think that was that during the first shutdown, but that was a big revision to the downside. So things on the surface level may appear good, but really they aren't. The economy isn't doing well, I would say. Some data points argue that it does. Some data points argue that it's not. There is a big debt. I think the poor are getting poorer, the richer are getting richer. And the illusion of the richer getting richer creates a false understanding that the economy is good. Asset price inflation drives stocks to all-time highs. Elon Musk's net worth jumps from 300 billion to 600 billion. But look at the guy that's having a white-collar, blue-collar job. Their concern is, will AI replace me? And from that point of view, I think the economy isn't doing too well. I'm not so bullish for the S&P 500. It's tough, and in these tough times, Bitcoin will suffer initially, but in the long term, its value will be understood, and I think capital will flow into it dramatically. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm actually trying to create an AI version of myself. If you have any information on how to do that, I'm quite deep into my research, but you could be seeing some sort of an AI crypto kid in the near future, so watch out for it. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you all on the next update video very soon. Bye-bye.